Hey, Steph.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Bariatric Venture Podcast.
I have no idea what number it is.
50 something, like 53,
Something.
52,
Sure,
53.
sure. You
Yeah.
could tell me it's 65 and I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah. Sure thing there, bud. I should
Right?
honestly look it up before the start of every one. And I don't. And I
I don't
really
either.
should. But I'm just like, it is what it is.
Right?
It's
I
another episode.
I don't look. Whatever. You
It's
know
fine.
what? We're just back. We'll just leave it at that. We're back.
We're back. We're back. Nobody cares. You think someone's gonna be like, "Oh, they didn't
No,
tell me the episode number." Like, I can't
I'm
get
not
into this
listening.
right now.
I'm not listening. You know what? If
To be
that's how
fair,
you're
could
gonna
you
be,
feel bad
then
because it will have an episode number when it goes live. You'll always be able to reference it
right.
somehow. It's just
You'll
I don't
find us
remember what we're
eventually.
on. Yeah, I could look
Oh,
it up,
man.
guys, but also I have a full-time job and I'm literally racing from that job to this. It's 53. It's 53. We're
Okay, there you
episode
go.
50.
You know what? Yeah. This is not our full-time job, people, so cut us some
One day,
slack. I have
one day.
I have children entertaining themselves upstairs. For all I know, it's Lord of the Flies up there. Who
Love it.
knows? Who knows what I'm gonna walk into when we're done? I'm a little bit frightened.
Who who knows what's
It's gonna
going
be
to
like a
happen?
fire in the middle of my living room. I'm gonna have face paint on. They're gonna be just who
Oh,
knows what's going on up
no.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness. Well, listen, for the next 35, 40 minutes, we get to ignore everything and just get
right?
back into our bariatric world, which is like my favorite little world to be in.
I agree. If you hear screaming in the background, just ignore it. I'm sure everybody's fine. Let's put it that way.
I'm sure everybody's doing fine.
This is like our
Um,
own little quiet, like, time, we'll call it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's our own little time to reflect on. Honestly, sometimes this is the only time in the week that I stop and reflect on
I
bariatrics, which
know.
is not great, but it is real life.
I totally as you're saying that, I'm sitting here being like, "Did I even track any of my food today?" Oh, I did. My breakfast. That's about it. I should probably go back and, track the rest of what I ate for lunch today. Gosh.
There you
Some
go.
days, man. Here's the thing, right? Like, we always talk about tracking our food, and I still did I track it, like, on time today? No. But I'm still doing it. I haven't had my dinner yet, so this will at least tell me what I'm working with for the rest of the day, and I know now it's, like, habit enough that I know I can tell you for a fact I am not over my macros just because I eat so much of the same stuff and I know what I've had today, but this is why it's important because I know I'm not over, but I have no idea where I stand, and it's
Okay.
6 o'clock in the evening,
But that's reality. You kinda
right?
nailed something that's really nice that you will eventually get to, is I eat so much of the same things. Now
Yeah.
that doesn't mean, we eat the same thing breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just
No.
like now I've gotten used to if I meal prep certain dinners because I
Yeah.
portion them and freeze them a certain way, I don't even have to think twice because most of the dinners I make fall within like 290 to 320 calories. All of them have 29 to 32 grams of protein per serving, and they're
Yep.
all made to pair with a third of a cup of some sort of starch. So they're all made
Right.
to pair with a quarter cup, Jesus, of sweet potatoes or regular potatoes or my protein rice. So I
Yeah.
can like mentally math it and be like, that, 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 away we
Right.
go.
Right.
Um,
And yeah, like I
yeah,
have staples that I know roughly like, okay, this is this, this is this. So I can sit now, like I can literally sit here and kind of rough estimate it. But I don't have a full good picture. So there's certain things that like I had my salad for lunch. That's my typical go-to. I know roughly where that sits. I had my baby bells. I know like I have my standards, my typical go-tos. But yeah, it's why it's important because I have an idea, but I could forget something I had. I could not remember that I had this little snack. And those we've talked about how those add up really quickly if you're not paying attention. And then
mhm.
going into the evening and not knowing like how far do I have to go to hit my protein goal? I'm not as worried about the calories or the fats or whatever, but how far off am I for my protein is like the big one then because now it's like shit, it's 6 o'clock. How
Yeah.
much protein do
Can
I
I
need
get it?
to
Yeah.
shove in there?
Yeah, here we go. 7 back-to-back bottles of protein. Away we go. I
Right?
think that's also the problem that I run into is, the protein side of things. It's less about, "Oh, I'm starving and have no calories." It's always, "Fuck. I
right?
did really good with the calories and did not pay attention to the protein." And that's just
Yeah.
because there are days I don't wanna eat my freezer meals. Everybody on here can relate to that. You spend hours meal prepping, and then you're like,
Mhm.
I don't wanna eat any of that." Or you're just having that day where you're like, "I genuinely am not hungry. I'm just not hungry. Nothing seems
Nothing
good. I'm going
yeah.
to have grapes and mozzarella cheese." Like,
Yeah.
I eat
Nothing I
like a
think of is what I wanna
toddler.
eat. No, but it's
Yes!
true, and there's days especially and I like, mine correlates a lot to my cycle and, like, my period
100%. Yep.
because I will have I will admit it, I'll have those days where nothing is g it's either one or the other. It's all I want is everything or nothing is good enough, and nothing is what I want, and then I'll get my mind fixated on one particular thing that I want, and if I can't have it, I am like a toddler with a meltdown, and, like, I will get so upset that that one item isn't in the fridge or isn't something I can have for dinner, and I will, like, have a toddler style meltdown because that's all I wanna eat and I can't have it. So
Yeah.
I get that. I was like that the other day with pizza, I'm not gonna lie. I knew I could tell, like, hormones were raging, everything was ever all I wanted was pizza so bad, so I said to Devin, "You know what? Forget it. I'm going to the pizza place in town at lunch, and I'm getting a slice of pizza. I did my workout, I'll count it, but I'm getting pizza. I don't care. I'm doing it." And I
Doing it.
went yeah, I went, and did they have any slices? No. And I was livid. Like, I got back in the car and I texted Devin and I was like, "Who the shit doesn't have slices for a pizza place at lunch?" Like, I lost it, and he's like, "Steph, maybe they just ran out," or like, "Maybe they're making did you ask if they were making more?" I was like, "No, I stormed out." And he was like, "Oh my god." And I was like I was pissed. I was so mad
Oh,
over a
yeah.
piece of like, I lost my shit
But
over a
it's
piece
the
of pizza.
irrational period anger. Like, it
Oh,
is the
yeah. It's
I
real.
get angry about the
Stupid.
littlest thing
Yeah.
will set me off on a meltdown where I'm like, "This is just fuck, this is dumb." I
Yeah.
just this just happened, I can't even remember why, but I was just like, "I'm so angry over this." And my friend was like, "Why?" And I was like, listen,
I don't
don't
know.
ask. I'm just so
Right?
not happy right
Right.
now." And
I
then, like,
don't know why, but
don't know why, but I'm just furious.
oh, been there.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
know that feeling. But, yeah, it's been sometimes this is the only time during the week that I sit and actually spend time thinking about it, and
Yeah.
that has kind of been eye-opening because it does remind me that at the end of the day, and I hate to sound preachy, which I do all the time, but at the end of the day, this is technically a lifelong program and this is lifelong work, which I have said before. And and this is just my opinion, I truly
Yeah.
don't believe you're ever going to get to a place after having the surgery where you can just set it and forget it and just go on autopilot because
Mhm.
this has reminded me like, wow, you're not spending enough time literally thinking about meal prepping or what you've got in the house for snacks or
Yep.
preparing for different things, like having one day a week where you actually can sit and think about like nutrition and
Yeah.
exercise and bariatrics. It's setting me up for failure for an injury or an illness that comes up and derails me
You're not
for a
ready.
week or two for just having a bad week in life where you're
Mhm.
exhausted, you're tired, you're stressed about work. Like that has definitely been happening. Work stress is huge. My boss, who is amazing, is resigning and it's kind of coming out of nowhere and we're all just up in the air about like what the fuck does this mean? But it means like working longer nights,
Yeah.
harder, the stress. So and I'm
Yep.
hitting the summer where it's like, "Oh, cool. Mom's birthday, or Mother's Day, Dad's birthday,
Mhm.
Father's Day, this birthday, that birthday, like everything
Everything.
happens between April and September in my family. So I am in Windsor
Yep.
2 weeks every month basically. Side note, my dad laughed at me because he's like, "How the fuck do you need new tires already? You just bought this car, it's used. You just bought this car a year ago." I said, "Yeah, I got my Kia SUV about 9 months ago, Dad." He goes, "Jesus, how do you need new tires already?" I said, "Oh, I drive about 24,000 kilometers a year." "Jesus Christ," he says, "how
Yep.
do you drive that many kilometers?" I said, "Well, first of all, my 80-year-old father who drives nowhere, I
Right.
come to Windsor
All the
twice a
time.
month. Like,
Yeah.
shit, it's like a
That
2.5
alone.
hour drive. I said,
Yeah.
"Also, where am I going in June?" "Well, you're going home to the cottage." "Yep, driving to
Yeah.
Nova Scotia is a 3-day journey there,
Right?
papa."
It
So
adds
I
up.
we just
It adds
laughed,
up.
but I digress. It's my busy,
You
busy,
got a
busy
lot
time of
you
the
got
year.
a lot on the, like, go, go, go,
There's a
go, go.
lot. So not spending
Yep.
time thinking about it, I just personally think won't set you up for success. I think
Yep.
about it like a job. Could you, Steph, go all week not putting any thought into your job except for one day?
Right. Right.
I
No.
like, you'd say
And
no.
and it looks different for everybody. Like, you and I have talked about this so many times that, like, our version or what we consider meal planning is not the same, and that's fine.
Correct,
It doesn't have to
correct.
be like but here's the thing, if you love taking a day and making full-on meals and portioning and putting them in the fridge or if that's what works for you and you like it and that's what keeps you on track, amazing. Awesome, cool, do it, that's amazing. For me, I prep protein, and then I have everything else, but we also have different like, I shop for everybody in the house, so I have to have lots of different
Exactly.
things on hand, different options, bigger meals, like, it's a different situation, so, ultimately and we say this all the time, like, find what works for you to set yourself up for success, but I agree, there always has to be some sort of planning or thought process, even if as you get further out, maybe you're not tracking every single thing, but tracking your protein, keeping an eye on your calories, having not just throwing caution to the wind, and for me, like, one of the big things that is habit now is if I'm going out for a prolonged period of time, I always have bariatric friendly snacks in my purse or in my
Mhm,
car
mhm.
because we get hungry so often and it's super easy when you're out and about, especially like for me, it's if I go grocery shopping or run errands, I'm going at least 30 minutes each direction, plus the time that I'm spending doing my errands. So it's super easy to grab the Tim Hortons, grab the McDonald's, and we've said this too, it's not that you can't do that, but it becomes really easy to get back into that habit of it being a constant thing or, "Oh, it's Saturday, I'm going grocery shopping, I'll just grab a cheeseburger." And the odd
Exactly.
time, yes, I will grab a cheeseburger for
Yep.
sure, but I always make sure now, like, I have a protein coffee with me, or I have a protein bar, or I have a baby like, just something that if the hunger kicks in, I can have either satiate myself or have enough to tide me over to when I get home. But
Yeah.
just again, like that pre-planning, that thinking ahead is the little things that I think will be something that will always be a new habit now or always be something that I incorporate. Because yeah, I don't think you can just throw caution to the wind. There has to still be some sort of structure uh, to this, we'll call it process, because it is a lifestyle change.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I mean, all it is I don't know. I hate to call it a job, but sometimes it does feel like a job.
It
But
does sometimes.
I realize, like, I don't think I'm spending enough time. And again, there are people who will disagree with us, and there are people who are gonna be like, "No, oh my god, I barely have to think about this." Like, or the people who and I don't know if I love this attitude, but I'm trying to not be judgmental. The people who are like, "Oh, well, that's not what I signed up for. Like, that's not the life I'm going to live. Bariatric surgery will work with my life." And it's like,
Mhm.
yo, in the nicest fucking way possible. If your life had worked perfectly, you wouldn't be needing
Yeah.
bariatric surgery. And I'm trying not to be an asshole about that, but there's so many. You'll see them on social. Steph and I both have run into people like this. We've seen
Yep.
them on the threads. We've heard, but there's this attitude of, oh, well, I'm not giving that up. Like, no, I'm not giving that up. No, I didn't go into this surgery to give things up, or I didn't have this surgery to stop eating X or stop doing Y. And it's like,
I
I
mean,
understand
I get that to an extent, only
to an extent.
because only because I do say that. I will admit I do say that, but I've changed only because I'm super big on and this is like a me thing, I'm super big on no food is a bad food, and I'm really big on because I know for me, and this is again, this is a personal me thing, if I tell myself I can't have something, I know that will backfire for me, and I know with my I just know personally, if you tell me I can't if you were to say, "Steph, you can't have pizza anymore," or, "Steph, you can't have ice cream anymore," what I will 100% have that living in my head, and I will I will do it because you said I can't. And that's a me personality issue thing. So for me, it's more so of, yeah, you can have that, but you can't have 4 scoops of ice cream. You can have half a scoop of ice cream, or you can't have 3 pieces of pizza. You can have a piece of pizza, and you can't have it multiple times a week.
Well,
But
see,
that's
there's
an
the kicker.
right?
Yeah, and, like,
But
there's the kicker, though, like
some people need to approach it in the sense of, "No, that can't be a part of your life anymore because you know you can't control yourself, or you know you won't track it or count." Like, I think it needs to be number 1 within reason for everybody, but I think too it's gonna vary from person to person because we have seen those people where they think it's the magic pill or where they say,
well,
"I'm
it's
having
just that
bariatric surgery and screw it, this is my answer to everything."
well, it's just that
Right?
attitude of, I didn't have bariatric surgery to do X to do Y,
Yeah.
and a lot of the times it's, I didn't have this surgery so that I would give up eating the way I'm eating,
Right, and I
and,
think
like,
those are
it's
the people we saw having surgery and then going and getting full sugar iced coffees,
having takeout
right?
still and, like, I get like, to an extent, I can understand this, but as somebody who is okay, I'll go back to your points in a sec too, but someone who's 3.5 years out
Yep,
struggling a little bit right now, like, I wanna be a cautionary voice as well that there's a very fine line here, and I think we take it for granted, but I agree with you, I don't want this notion of, like, here's the terrible foods that you are never allowed to reintroduce into your house. We all know that's obviously not gonna work and it's gonna fail, right? But there's a difference between your mentality, which is, "I'm gonna just have a little bit of pizza," but in the back of your mind, there's that voice saying, "You've had your pizza, you do not need to have it again for X amount of time."
yep,
Like, you are putting guardrails back there, right?
yep,
But it's the people that are saying full stop, "I didn't have this surgery to stop eating at restaurants. I didn't have this surgery to stop eating junk food. I didn't have this surgery to stop eating sugar." Like, the ones that are very adamant that they're gonna continue to have what they wanna have, and this surgery is not gonna stop them from doing that,
yeah.
right? Like, they
They're
aren't
not
gonna
willing to
give
put any
things up.
rules or boundaries in place, and I think
Right,
if we look we've talked about this too, I think if we look, and I could be totally wrong, but I feel like a lot of that also stems from the education you gave yourself going into the surgery and the amount of
potentially.
time you gave yourself. Like, look at our as we talk shit about our program, which
Yeah, but I
fair,
know someone who went through our
but
program that thinks this way.
that's also a mix of, I think, personality trait, right? And
Yeah.
I think some people just don't take it as seriously as other
It's
people.
true, and, like, this
I
person's
think
very far out from surgery, so it's also like
yeah,
it could have just blown off a little, but
right, like, I think
I
we
don't
went into it with a certain mindset. We took that
yeah,
seriously, right? We
yeah,
had hit our point. Some people also I think that's a big thing too, like, why did you go into surgery? Were you told
it's a
you
good
have
point.
to? Did you go into surgery because you wanted to? Because you were ready? Were you basically pushed into it? Like, what mindset did you go into it with, right? Because I can see people who basically didn't think they need it, didn't really look into it themselves, but their doctor said, "You have to have this." Versus, "I'm sick of having this body. I'm sick of feeling like this. I'm done. I've done the things. I
Mhm.
myself have had enough. I'm ready and I'm willing to put in what needs to happen." Right? You mix that on top of the education, I think you're setting yourself up for better being able to put in those guardrails, understanding how food works, understanding the importance of balance of like
Yeah,
I think
I
that
think
foundation makes a difference too.
I think the foundation does make a difference. I do think a lot of these people, some of them I'll give a pass to because they didn't have the program we had, sure, but I do think a lot of them, to your point, are ones who did not come to this surgery on their own. Now, Steph and I have been very open about we came to surgery literally like begging our doctor to let us do it because we had run out of options. But we were also both trying to actively like work out,
Do
live a
the
healthy
things.
lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
we were trying it on our own. We both know where we failed. But like this was something we've wanted for so long. We wanted to work out. We wanted to be healthy. We wanted to do this. The other people that, yes, I do speak to or that I see these stories come out from because they share everything online, a lot of them are those people that were pushed into this, not forced into it,
Yeah.
but they had really bad comorbidities, or they GLP-1s were not working for them because they sometimes do not work for people, or they
Yeah.
were at a certain age and a certain weight where it was one of those like, you need to do this because there is literally nothing
Nothing.
else left for you.
Yeah, like, they
And
physically can't work out, they 'cause of their
exactly,
sex.
or
But again, there's that
their
foundational piece
degree,
is
like their
missing.
health is failing so
Right.
quickly, right? That it's the only thing.
Yeah.
So, sure, when you come into it with that mentality, it is that mentality of like, well, I'm not working out now. I'm not really doing much now. I don't see how my life is a problem right now because
Yeah.
weight might not actually even be a factor for them. There is an influencer, and I'm not going to use her name because I don't want her fucking followers coming for us. But there is an influencer who's very big on like, you don't like body positive, have a huge problem with body positivity because it's, I think, used as an excuse to think
It's
being
not what it
obese
used to
is
be. Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
It's okay to be obese and love your body. We've never said that that's not okay, but it's not okay to think that that's like a healthy
Yeah.
body. It eventually will catch up with you, and we feel that way because we both were morbidly obese.
Yeah.
But there is someone who believes like, "No, I don't have to do anything." And I think that's the dangerous mindset
Right.
that some of these people come into the program in, is that, "Well, I didn't have to lose weight. I'm being forced into having this
Yeah.
surgery for other
It's
reasons
almost
that had
like
nothing to do with my lifestyle."
yeah, it's almost like I can't think of the word because I'm so tired, but it's almost like they're so angry going into this, and they're
Yeah.
just so negative about it, and they see the surgery as such a just
Or
an angry, negative, "I have to do this, so why should I put in
even
the
not
effort?" Like
even negative, I think there's the anger, and then
yeah,
there's the apathetic people.
yes,
Like, the ones who are almost like, "Well, my lifestyle wasn't bad. I was totally healthy. I was fat for, like, completely unrelated reasons." I think
yeah,
those are the 2 categories, because 'cause I've seen those people on
yeah,
Reddit who were like, "My lifestyle was perfectly fine. I'm obese because I have big bones and PCOS, and, like, it's genetic." And it's like, "Girl, really?"
mm,
So, like, some of those
mhm,
people are coming into surgery because their doctor has said,
you have
and
to.
it's kind of going on deaf ears, "You have no fucking choice. You are
Right,
really, really, really sick,
yeah,
and you need to lose weight
you
to
need
be
to do
healthier."
something drastic.
But they truly don't believe that their lifestyle contributed to it,
Yeah,
nor should they have to give things up. I'm not trying to get on a soapbox here and say you better eat lettuce and give shit up, because Steph and I have gone to McDonald's.
yeah,
Your thing is pizza, my thing is nachos. Like, I
mm,
absolutely every once in a month will be like, you know what the fuck I want right now? Some goddamn nachos.
yeah,
I've shared the recipe a million times. I make them as healthy as possible. So there are, when you're on your period, you're sick, blah, blah, blah. There's moments that you just want to have certain food. My only advice, if I can give it to people being a little bit further out, is there comes a midpoint. If you can make it to 5 years, they say you will likely be very successful with
yeah,
this, right? The 3 to 5 year mark is the goddamn no man's land of like, fuck, right? Like,
yeah.
here come the hunger hormones again. Here come the less hunger cues. Like, you don't feel as full as quick. Your hormones come all the way back to the way they were before. Like, your body kind of starts to go back
It gets
to
into
normal.
a new norm. Yeah,
It really wants to go back to the way it was. That's what
yeah,
bodies do. If you study mental health, if you study neural pathways, your body literally wants to go back to the path it already created. It will so hard pull itself back that way unless you make new paths and keep pushing and pushing until that becomes the chosen path. So, yeah, of course, your body's like, yo, you know what I want? Some sugar. Ooh,
ice
you know what'd be really
cream.
good right now? Like, why don't you eat this? And
Yeah,
you get a little slippy and a little slippy and a little slippy. And I think if you're already going into surgery thinking, oh, well, I'm not giving up this and I'm not giving up this and I'm not giving up this and I'm
yeah,
not changing this, I just want to warn you that it becomes really, really, really
hard.
hard if you're already stacking the deck against you. Like,
Yep,
I know that I've
yep,
had to make changes with things, and I'm really grateful that I cut out delivery apps off my phone, that I cut out a lot of things, because I see how quickly I could have fallen so far off
mhm,
the wagon, and it
yep,
scares the shit out of me
yeah,
how very quickly this
how easy it
happens.
is. Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh my god, if I had delivery apps on my phone, or if I was eating out, like, this could have been so
yeah,
bad."
and
Um,
I think too, part of it is, like, when you set yourself up for the most I was talking to somebody about this because I have a friend who's, like, gone back and forth about whether or not she should have surgery, and she, like, books the appointment with her doctor, and then she doesn't, and then she doesn't, and because she doesn't think she could do it. And so I've talked to her, and I said, like, I think she can. She's in a very similar boat to what we were in. She's done the things, she's seen the success, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, part of me was explaining to her that I think it also becomes the more you can get yourself on track from the beginning, and we talk about this too with like setting the habits and getting in the motion, but the more you set yourself up for success early on, the
Yeah.
more success you see, the
Mhm.
faster and the better results you see. And I said this, it becomes addictive.
It
And
is addictive.
it's a
It's
big
so
that's
addictive.
yeah, that's been a big thing for me is becoming addictive is a strong word, but becoming addicted to the positives of this new lifestyle and becoming addicted to the results and the positive feelings and the non-scale victories along with the scale victories, but almost becoming addicted to this new life and this new lifestyle.
I mean, we do,
And the
as
constant like
bariatric patients, have to be
have
cautious of
addictive
addiction.
personalities.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah,
do,
for
right?
sure.
So,
That's why I said it's a
it's
strong word,
a
but
strong word, but I know
it's a
exactly what you
yeah,
mean.
like, it's and I that's what I try to focus on too is those constant reminders of, "This feels so good. This is so great. This is so fun. You won't be able to do this again. You're gonna go" like, that part of it too, but I think, as we've said, the more you have the right mentality from the beginning, the more you do the right things from the beginning, the more you approach it,
Yeah.
we know the better results you're gonna see. We know if you stick to it, you're gonna see faster weight loss, more, um,
Yeah.
like you're gonna see those results more frequently, and that's gonna help you also, and that's gonna put you in a good mindset to continue on, whereas if you're already angry about the surgery, you're already pissed off, you're not doing the right things, you're not gonna see the results that you want, you're gonna say, "This isn't working for me," or da 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 da, and it's down again, like that slippery slope of, "I can just do whatever I want."
Do what I want. And I think what I'll add to that is it's going to be hard before surgery to stick with this. So I just,
Oh, yeah.
be aware. You're going to be like,
Yep.
okay, here we go. And then you're going to be like, fuck this. I can't
"This
do it.
sucks."
Absolutely. Before
Yep.
surgery, you can't do it. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Please don't value what you're doing before surgery as like what it'll feel like after surgery because
Totally
before
different.
surgery
Yeah.
it is impossible. Okay, it's
Yeah.
just too fucking hard. But
Yeah.
in the first early stages of surgery, if you stick to it, she's not wrong. Like Steph is 100% right here because as you get further out, it is going to be very hard for you to correct those bad habits
Yeah.
because your body is going to grow accustomed to it and used to it. And like I said, it wants to literally go back. It's
Yep.
like you built a path, right? You put the stones on, you built a path. And then one day you were like, fuck it, let's start using the side of the house. Well, you already built a path with stones and it's there and it doesn't just vanish.
Yeah.
So, sure, you take the side of the house for a bit, but you're then going to go outside and be like, oh, there's that path again. Your brain literally wants to pull you down that path. Like,
Mhm.
well, why are you stopping delivery now? We had delivery
It's what
like
it's known for so long. It's
6 months
what
ago.
it's
Like, why are
comfortable
we
with.
doing this?
Yeah.
And surgery, the quieting of the hormones in your stomach is temporary. And they told you it's temporary.
Oh, yeah.
It comes back.
The
Those
hunger comes
cravings,
back for
like
sure.
so she's like the more yes, the
Yep.
more you build it up front, the better. Yes, please be aware that addicting personalities are a huge thing that we
Mhm.
deal with. And it can look like being too addicted to exercise, and my therapist is always really clear with me. She's like, "Your running seems really good, and we're not addicted, but we're
Right.
gonna watch." And I was like, yes, we will," because
Yep.
she knows transfer addiction is real, and it's not just to alcohol. It is
Oh,
to shopping,
shopping.
it is to exercise, to the gym, to,
I
like,
mean, it could be
obsessive
collecting
eating.
things. It could be, like,
Yeah, it could be anything.
anything. Yeah,
Anything, because 'cause you're just trying to replace when you would eat with doing
with something
something
else.
else, and so
Yeah.
that becomes the other thing to just keep an eye on is right now it feels great, and you are addicted to the positive side of it, and it's
Yep.
really positive and awesome. Be aware of finding positive things, and Steph's really good at this, that aren't your weight or the scale. Like, you'll notice what
Non-scale's huge.
Steph said was, "This is something I've never been able to do before, and I love that." And my therapist literally asked me that this week. She said, when you're having a really hard time with running, like it's a hard run or you don't want to go, can you remember why you're doing it? And I rolled my eyes at her and I was like, "Oh my God, I have no
I
reason."
hate this.
I said, "People are out here running because they beat cancer or they're running in memory of someone or, mental health reasons or blah, blah, blah." I was like, "I don't fucking know. I just started doing it and I liked it." And she challenged me and said, why though? Like,
Yeah.
why did you keep training for stuff? And I said, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's like the addiction from bariatric surgery. She was like, it's not. And I was like, fine. So we sat there and I had to work on it. And finally
Yeah.
I just started telling her, like, well, I really wanted to go run in Disney and there's this other cool race I wanted to do. And I said, when I'm out there, even on the hard days, like I would just smile and go, holy fuck, I can't believe you did that.
Mhm.
And it was just fun to look forward to things. And she said,
Right.
not once did you mention because it helped you lose weight. Not once
Yep.
did you mention that you wanted to hit a goal, that you needed X amount of medals, that you needed to be the fastest in the world. She
Yep.
was like, you actually are describing adventure. It sounds
Right.
like you picked up running because it's an adventure for you. It's going to take you to
Yeah.
different places and it's something that challenges you mentally and physically and you like
Yeah.
that. And that's your motivation and reason. And I went, holy shit.
Oh.
Oh, but that's
Oh.
important because
It
that's
is.
something that her and I worked on since I
Yeah.
had surgery. You better not tie your meaning and your enjoyment to your weight
No.
because if you
No.
go and regain or you fall off the
Yeah.
goddamn wagon,
Then
it's gonna hurt
everything's tied.
even harder.
Yeah, like, I've been stalled since October, so I can't tie my things to losing weight because I
Mm-mm.
haven't. I have bounced between the same 2.5 to 3 pounds up and down since literally my 1-year anniversary, like, to
Oof,
the day. It's like
oof.
literally my body knew. It was like, nope, this was the day, we're done."
Oh, yeah,
So,
you hit the brakes hard after 1 year, like,
oh, like,
hit a
literally, like,
wall,
immediate stop. Like, I
immediate.
thought I remember just being like, this is too weird that it literally was the day, and
It's
from that point
immediate.
on, it never moved. And I've been at that for the last since October, and it is all middle of May. So, hello frustrating. However, so I can't tie any of my positives since October to current weight loss. I can tie it to previous, but not to current. So I
Yep.
have to find other positive things to motivate me because when I step on the scale, that is no longer, I mean, it's a motivation in the sense that I'm staying in the same
That's
maintenance.
huge, okay?
That's
That's
which is
fucking
huge.
huge.
But
That's
it used to be, okay, I'm gonna step on the scale today and I know it's gonna go down. And that was my motivation. That's gone.
yep,
I have to find other things. And it's so important because then yeah, you start to tie your
your
self-worth
worth.
to
Yeah,
your weight. And
and you
when
should know
that no, because like Hannah said, if you go up and there's gonna be days like when you have your period, the scale's gonna go up. After you
that.
work out, the scale's gonna go up. If
You're a
you're
runner?
bloated yeah,
Congratulations. It's
yeah.
going up.
Hello, since I started running, I said to Hannah,
Yeah,
I'm like, "The scale's not going down, Hannah."
and it won't as
Um,
a runner because 'cause you're
right,
building
and
them
so
fucking thigh muscles.
yeah, so you can't because otherwise, as soon as that weight goes up, even just at 2 pounds, you immediately will beat yourself up. So,
100%.
that's been a huge, I think, lesson for me and something that I'm super proud of myself for doing because I used to be so obsessed with the scale, like, so obsessed, that
Yeah.
now I'm really, really focused on finding the other things that matter and that are wins and that make me feel good, and the
Yeah,
scale is the scale.
and that's the thing, it's tough. We have
It's
addicting
so
personalities,
hard. It's
and
so
but
hard.
it's finding the positive and the good, and again, I know to wrap it up, it sounds like a broken record, but if you do treat it this is the worst analogy ever, but like as a job where like you do make sure you set aside the time because
Yep.
if you don't, it does catch up with you and little
Yeah.
things get to come and go. And I'm going to try to take my own advice. And that's going to be my homework is
Mhm.
I'm going to work on actually setting aside not a lot of time, but
Mhm.
enough time each week where I can confidently go, yeah, I took a look at my workout schedule for this
Yep.
week and yep, I took a look at some recipes and yeah, I took a look at, where things are and just
You have
pay
a
attention.
plan.
Just a check-in,
Yeah.
a little here, how's it go like, the last thing I want is to hop on these calls where we record this awesome podcast and be like, "Alright, shit, I don't know what I did this week for bariatrics," right? Like, no. Like, it needs to be and it doesn't need to be
Right?
my personality, but it needs to be a
Yeah.
very large part of my life because it is a large part of my life going forward, and the minute it becomes an afterthought in my day, that's when the regain's gonna sneak in, that's when things are gonna start going south, and it could just be a me thing, and other people are good with it, but I think there's a reason we see people who are 5, 10, 12 years out that are consistently still showing us, like, what I do in a week, what I eat in a week,
Yep.
I'm doing that, but, like, I for some of us, that's just the way that works.
And that's why I said, like, make it a habit. Make
Yeah,
these things a habit early on so that as much as Hannah's like, yeah, it is a job, but it also just becomes a norm, right? Like going to work
yeah,
is a
it's
norm,
just your
doing the dishes is a norm, thinking
oh,
about my food, like that tracking
yeah,
my
I know.
dishes, bleh,
I
tracking my
know.
food,
For real.
right? Okay, for me, doing dishes is a norm, not for Hannah, but
Doing the
just
dishes.
just so that it's something that you have to think about, but almost don't, because
Yeah,
it just becomes part of your constant lifestyle. And like I said, like, just open the fridge and make sure you got protein. Open this
yeah,
stuff and make sure you're set up for success, and it
yeah,
doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just make sure you've got what you need to be successful around you.
exactly, exactly.
For me,
I
it's
think
Baby Bell.
next week's episode I need to do my dishes more than I do, but, like, I'm single, live by myself, they can stack up for a little bit.
You're fine.
Next week, I think we'll talk about running because 'cause we've both been, we've I think got some good updates there, and I wanna hear about your shoes, but,
Hmm.
yeah, like
Yep.
always, Steph, I really appreciate you joining me on these episodes, and I think this was
Oh,
a good
sure.
one to just reset and, treat this like a habit, treat it
Yeah.
like a really important part of your life,
Yeah.
and don't put it on autopilot.
Agreed. Love it.
Love it. We'll see you all next week.
See ya.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.